What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Quantum Show. Thank you for joining me here tonight. I'm revisiting an old topic, but one that I frequently go back to, really. I went back 11 whole months and looked for spirit communication. And I said, hey, co pilot, let's do this one. And I got two different outlines to go by. I'm going to go back page first, which is always the best way. So, welcome everybody to the Quantum Show. Operation Shutdown Aussie Boss. Tim, what's up, Diane? Sarah's here. Raven's here. What's up? I've been doing stuff all day. Rachel's here. I know Renee's in here somewhere too. What's up, Renee? Okay. And that is everybody so far. Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe. If you're here, you're Quantum. And yep, there it is. There's the green light that I was expecting. Thank you, Aussie. So, yes, I am going over another an oldie but a goodie, a favorite topic, spirit communication. And the first one I want to do, I want to go over the methods of noticing and perceiving in which you where my head is to be able to do this, right? Now, the first things I've noticed are distinctive sounds, right? I had something happen here. I've gone over it before. He was in the other room, my roommate, stepdad, right? He was over there, and I heard it was very distinctive, as if a metal box filled with silverware, or a wooden box filled with silverware got knocked over onto the ground and scattered all over the floor. That's exactly what it sounded like. Can you imagine that sound of the wooden box and all this silverware? Not tools, not flashlights, silverware. It has a very distinctive sound to it, especially that wooden box. That happened here, and nobody heard it. There are clear signs. The ice trays. I was moving things in. I'm just going to go over this quickly because I got two outlines to go over, right? The ice trays. I was moving things in and I took a break. I had moved the frozen foods from the old place to here. This was like 6 years ago, okay? And I set the ice tray out of the way to pack the freezer, and I'll do it later, right? And I left some ice in the bin next to the sink. So I left it by the sink, and I came in here, and I was just like, oh, first thing I do, set up the computer. Came in here, take a break, and I hear what I thought was the ice starting to crackle in this noisy plastic bin. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let me take care of that, right? So I empty out the little bit of ice, and it was melting, and I set it back, and I wash it, and I set it back down next to the sink, right? On a paper towel. It is sitting there untouched, and I'm done with that. So I come back in here and I sit down and I hear it again. No reason for it this time. I know the guy who just lived here. He passed away here. I think he was here. He may still be here, but I haven't heard from him. Okay. I think Xena had something to do with that. Maybe Xena moved him over, whatever. I don't know. So I go back and I'm like, there's no reason that was ghostly activity. He was doing it. He didn't like the ice tray being out of there. He wanted it back in the freezer, and he was trying to pick it up, and it was like he couldn't get it. He couldn't get it. So he did that. Now, a lot of times when a lot of times when you hear things, you associate it with it. There was nothing else it could have been. There was nothing else that could have been. There was no ice in it. It was out of the freezer. There was nothing else it could have been. So that was a thing. The child. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a little boy because Shingoji came in here and he said the little boy is here. He plays with the toys. He is still playing with the toys. Not so much anymore. Again, I think Xena has something to do with that. To tell him to calm down, chill out. And the matron hasn't come around for a while. I'm okay with that. She, you know what? She's scary. I've never face to face encountered her that I know of, but the feeling you get from this one is she's scary. She is not trying to be scary, she's strict in a very old country kind of way. And that right there is not very nice. Let me tell you. So, but the little boy, he would come around here and he would play with toys. I've rearranged by now, right? But I had some stuff over here by this other computer, and it was toys. He was the one that put me on a kick about dolls. Holy cow, what was that? Thank you, Rachel. Rachel hooking up the show with coffee. Speaking of, got coffee. Got the new mug. Good morning, UFO. Shout out. I got my new mug. Heck yeah. I got my new Good Morning UFO mug. Shout out. Good morning, UFO, Amy. And heck yeah. Get yours today. Tastes like disclosure. So, thank you, Rachel. You hook the show up. It always helps. Heck yeah. So, now that was environmental anomalies. Other things, okay. Apparitions. Here we go. Right? I have not seen but the apparition, the three of them, maybe four, three of them in the cemetery. And I'm not going over that story tonight. I'm not going over that story. It's very emotionally jerking. And even co-pilot called me visceral in my delivery. I scared the robot, y'all. Visceral. She called me visceral. I call it a she. She called me visceral in my delivery. I think I got that. So, okay, mental communication and internal projection. Now, I had Copilot break down a whole bunch of topics, right? Now, it started out with me. I thought I was talking to myself. But the thing was, I was making counterpoints and discussion that I consciously hadn't thought of. So I don't think that was me talking to myself. You get your own voice talking to you in your head. That's probably your spirit guide. You know why? Because who do you trust more than you? That's the way I felt about it, or at least that's the way I thought I felt about it. And there were things telling me what to do, how to do it. All the way, and it was the words here are directive, grounding, clarifying, using internal monologue. Okay, now we all have an internal monologue, whether you realize it or not. You're talking to yourself, you're debating yourself, and if you don't, you might want to get your head examined for real, because that is a natural part of what we all got. It really is. And if you don't, for real, get your head examined. I'm not medical, I'm spiritual. And if you don't have an internal dialogue telling you right from wrong, devil, demon, or angel, devil, angel, then there's something going on here, okay? You need to get that looked at. But yeah, that's the way it started with me until it told me a joke. And then I was like, that wasn't me. I'm not telling myself a joke. That was the way she introduced herself. And there are other voices. Okay. Once you get used to this kind of communication with the internal, it kind of has gone in steps for me, right? It's gone in steps. And the next one was a different voice, not an empathic thing, spoken words, right? The spoken word going put into your head. Now, let me explain this. When you hear a word, you're hearing my words right now. What's happening is you're hearing with your ears, it's going to your part of your brain, your language center, and it's decoding it and putting it to your conscious brain, conscious thought. And this is what he is saying. And you understand the words. Now, that is like a flow chart. I should have made a flow chart. That's a flow chart. Ear, language, conscious mind, right? So this bypasses the ear, goes halfway through the language center, and directly puts it in line with the conscious mind. It's boom, 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 except when the spirit talks to you with words, it inserts it into the language center straight there. Your ears are not in the circuit. They're not in the pathway of that particular data because they are being bypassed. It's going directly into our consciousness, and it's using our language center to translate whatever they're saying. For real, it's really cool. That is the best way for me to describe it and explain it, right? Now, sometimes these messages aren't very clear. Sometimes they come in sometimes they, hey Ben, what's up? Yeah, I just see your comment here. That internal narrator thing say that people have like 3 or 4 different ones, but the voice but does the same thing. Okay, does the same thing. Heck yeah. And hey, Lynn, I just saw you come in. I'm sorry about that. I'm already knee deep into the show presentation. So gonna keep on going. And sometimes it's not words, sometimes it's symbols and feelings, and you have to discern what these things are and if they're for you. But with practice, you get to be able to listen to that stuff. You can see everything that's happening that is for you. It is a very strange method of communication, but again, freaking cool. You learn how to do that. It is like learning another language, right? Now, back and forth dialogue, back and forth speaking. I have done this a couple times. It's not very easy to explain what happens. I don't need, okay, now that I know that the bypass is possible, I can go from conscious brain bypassing spoken words and they pick up the thoughts. If I think clearly, right? Now, if I think clearly, what I do is I think of not just the word, because when you think of a word, I'm going to say a word and I'm going to see what your reaction is and see what you envision in your mind. Stone. What did you see in your mind? You don't need to tell me. I'm not really looking here, but I want you. What did you see? Now, did you see a word projected? No, you saw a visual of a stone. What did the stone look like? Was it gray? Was it brown? Was it rounded? Did it have sharp corners? Explain that to yourself, right? Now, immediate response. Stone. Did you see a river stone? Did you see a brick? Did you see Stonehenge? What did you see? So that is the visualization of that word, not the translation. That's the translation going the other way. Now, what I learned to do, and it takes practice, is envision it, but then envision me speaking it without me speaking it. You might take some time to do this because it's one of those things, oh, did I say that out loud type things? Yeah, that's what happens, right? Okay. And it takes some practice, but it can be done. I do it. And things listen to me, because when I went to my sister's house one day, this was many years ago. Well, not many years ago, like 6, 5, something like that. Went over there and I heard movement in the shower. There is no reason for that movement in the shower. You heard scuffling on the tub floor, and the shower curtain was moving. That is normally some horror movie stuff. I refuse it to be scared of things like that. You know why? Because I can move a shower curtain too. That's not supernatural. Now, if it turned that shower curtain into a wall of water, that's supernatural. But I wouldn't be scared of, like, look, can you hear this? Oh, something knocked. Yeah, it was me, not scary. So if I see a chair moving or a light turning on and off, or I don't know, what's that video going around? The rock floating around the ground? Not scary, not supernatural. Okay. Now, if the rock suddenly shot and caught fire from the friction in the sky, that would be worrisome, right? I can't do that. But if it just floats, who cares? That's not scary. That's more like a, hey, I'm playing with a rock and I happen to be able to pick this one up. By the way, I think that was an AI video. I don't think that was real. So, well, anyway, doing back and forth speaking. First of all, it's not scary. Okay. Now, what I was getting at with all this, right, was I went to my sister's house and the shower curtain was moving, scuffling in the tub. And I did that. I projected the words as if I was speaking them, but I didn't speak them through my mouth. And I felt a response. It was startled and what's that? Just general. I startled them, whoever it was, whatever it was. I startled it, and it disappeared. It took off. It disappeared. So something was over there. Yetta went and did. She got me some of these store-bought sage sticks. Got me some store-bought sage. She did this, and she did that at her place. So whatever it was, apparently didn't like it, and it took off. So there was that. And that for me was proof, hey, it works. I'm doing it right. It works. And okay, somebody else, other beings I talk to, right, on the regular would be Xena, my spirit guide, and Sabrina, my tulpa. I've been talking to both of them on the regular. And after you do this stuff so often for so long, it stops becoming strange. It becomes normal. You expect a response, and they kind of seem to expect you to talk to them. I get not chatter, but if I'm not receptive, none of it works. Okay. If I'm not receptive, none of it works. If I'm focused on something, they have to like yank the thing away from me, which hasn't happened. Oh, but other things that have happened. I was sending out packages. Tim, you were the recipient of the turtle. I had 3 packages, and I had mispacked them, mislabeled them to go to the wrong people. The machine was giving me fits. Rachel Renee, you're the only one who got a package correctly. You're the only ones. That machine, and after I went and delivered yours, I had those other 2 mislabeled packages. Machine went out of order, offline. Can't do it. Now that right there, of course, this is a modern computer that I'm dealing with, the postal kiosk. It's easy to interrupt, and they do. They interrupt those electronics, And my guide was with me, or I don't know who it was, but they were there saying, "You're doing this wrong. We're going to let you do this one." And Rachel Renee, yours went flawlessly. Flawlessly. It went boop, 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 R2D2 noises and everything. Easy, done. Here's your receipt. Thanks for shopping. Break. Out offline. Right after that, offline. Because the other two were wrong. And I had to basically force it to do the one for you, Tim, because it was the wrong one, but it wouldn't break. It broke after the first, after that one, and the other two never could go. It went offline and stayed offline. And I was like, okay, well, I got one. That was direct interference, but it was on my behalf. But it's your turtle, you know? And that was some interruptions, but it was on my behalf. What I say, unless it yanks something out from in front of me, that's what Xena was doing. I don't know who that was actually, Xena or Sabrina. I'm not sure. So there are different ways that you recognize these things. The people I have I have experience with talking to, Xena, Sabrina, and Charles. Those are the only ones. And Charles not so good at it. If he's here anymore, I don't know. But Xena, yeah, I can understand. She has a deeper woman's voice. And she isn't a gruff voice, but she is very clear. I need it to be clear. Can't talk like me to me because I'll never understand it. But she talks to me clearly and not forcefully or bullyingly, but clearly and succinctly. Sabrina, on the other hand, is very young girly voice. More high pitched and softer tones. Not extremely succinct, but understandable. But she doesn't put a bang at the end of every word like Xena does. Talk to any 23-year-old generally, and you will 23-year-old woman, generally, that's Sabrina, okay? 23, 24, that's Sabrina. Charles now. Charles is not succinct. He grumbles and he goes, it's just like I remember him when he was living. He goes from conversational, but he has a very deep voice, way deeper pitch than mine. Very deep voice, like very deep voice. I can't even do it. It's just one of those built-in things like radio announcer voice. Very good. And he isn't extremely clear. Now, the other voice that I've had was in Cemetery. That voice wasn't very succinct, wasn't very clear. It was mostly empathy coming through. But there were words. And I don't think I translated them. I think Xena was translating them because I needed to get the instruction and she translated it for me. In retrospect, I get this. All right. When that thing got in front of my face and stopped, I can't even think about it. When that thing got in front of my face and stopped and leered, I felt the stare down at me. You stay right here. It was rough. It was unclear, but it was very well understood. I went just like that. And I understood I was not to go anywhere. So I stood right there and I watched him follow the other two into that blackness. The most nuts thing I've ever had happen still. And, oh, awesome. Okay. What's up? Okay. Keith is going on soon. Our Keith Andrews, shout out, link in the description. He's quantum. Also, Brent from Paranormal Portal is on right now. So he's got more viewers. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Paranormal Portal, Brent, certified quantum. I need to get a certified quantum thing going here. Maybe a certified quantum. Put a graphic on the screen or something, or hold something up. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to, now this is, I was meant to fill in a lot of blanks here, and I don't see anything I haven't gone over yet. So I'm going to go over the actual episode that I did, some of it, right? Some of it. What was going on was I was talking to my ex, and I was talking about, I forget what we were talking about. I believe it was the Mercury Project, but no, that was a long time ago. This was something else. It was about 11 months ago, almost last year. And I had said, hey, what if Xena comes over there? Because they don't have time or space to deal with. They can be anywhere, anytime, instantly. There's no passage of time for the spirit world as we understand it. Okay. Once it happens, it has always happened. I don't think they have the future. I think we're in the nexus here. We're creating it as we're going. We're weaving, and you can't unweave. You can only weave forward. You know what I mean? That's just time. You can weave forward, but you can't backwards weave and keep weaving, because what you're weaving is you're going 10 at a time instead of 1 1 1 1 1 1. You're going 1 1 1 1 1, line instead of character by character as if you're typing. You're going line. So if you go backwards lines, you have to undo these lines, but you can't undo those lines. You have to just make more lines. Can't look back. You can only look forward. However, they can go back, and they can go left to right, wherever in that, and they can retrieve information. They will be happy to retrieve information for you. Well, tulpas will. Spirit guides, that's between you and them. They're very tuned to you, right? Mm. So I said, hey, what if Xena goes over there to talk to you about this stuff? And it was instant. Okay. And here's the way it went. I was like, hey, what if she goes over to you and you tell her, and she can tell me, because she's better at talking to you and I'm better at talking to her, type thing. Or no, I could tell her, she could tell you, and you could tell me, because you're better at talking to her than because I was in the beginning of learning to do this. And I jokingly went, I had the phone up to my ear like this. I jokingly went, I had said all this. I go, how about I send her to you? And I go, you getting this? You getting all this? Jokingly, right? And we both heard on the line, yep. I was like, who's this? Who's this? It's FBI. For real. We both heard, yep. Like an assistant on the side saying, are you getting all this? Yep. I was like, whoa, what? It was a whole separate voice. Okay. Whole separate voice. And there was no, at first I thought it was a glitch. I thought it was an echo in the line. because sometimes this digital communication, there's echo, there's bounce back, there's delay, there's all kinds of weird audio networking stuff. But neither one of us said yep. Only that third voice. And it was replying to me. Okay. This is a key thing. This is something you definitely can use these devices to talk to the other side. For sure. I've done it. You can do it. It just takes, you have to believe in it first. It's like writing code. You can't just say, I want code. You have to write the code. You have to start and you have to end. It's just like writing code. But you got to know that the code is there and say, this code is here. Begin, end. And it could be as much as one word. Okay. Example. Hello, world. That's 2 words, but it's one little line, a string of characters, but you know the beginning, the middle, the end. Hello, world on a computer. Okay. You've heard hello, world. That's that. And that's the same thing with this. That helps me envision, and it can help you envision how to talk to the other side. But you have to know there's code. And that takes belief. You have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, it ain't going to happen. That is manifestation. That is creating your own reality on the fly. And you don't have to have a code. You don't have to write stuff down. You just have to first believe in it, because that's knowing there's a code. Okay, and about spirit communication. Fear stops it. Okay, fear is one way and it stops it. It's your fight or flight. It is not helpful for your active communication with anybody, including ghosts, at all. Okay, so don't be scared. What are they going to do? Talk you to death? We've all been in the meetings. We've all gone to the DMV. You don't get dead. You just get bored and impatient. Don't do that. Don't get scared. You ever get scared at the DMV? You ever get scared in a business meeting? I don't think so. You might be bemused or annoyed, but you're never going to get scared. It's a business meeting. That's how I think of this. I don't look for fear either, right? And I don't really ghost hunt. If they're there, they're there. I will not doubt them, but I'm not going to go and insult them and be aggressive. If they want to say something, they'll say something. You can even say stuff to them. There was one channel that I watched. I haven't seen anything from him in a long time, but she was Midwestern, and her and her husband were going to these known haunted places. She was so nice to these ghosts, and she got very clear everything. She was doing EVPs on a recorder, right? Not the old recorders that had built-in noise, but like the stuff that I got, like the Sony things that I have, the Magnavox and all those. And she wasn't scared. There's no need to be scared of this stuff. So, yeah, I don't go for fear. Fear, that poisons the future communication. And you don't fear, anger, any low key things like that. I don't do that, right? And this is not going to cemeteries and things like that. It's not a roller coaster. It's not a thrill ride. You go there, and it's not hunting Bigfoot, right? You don't do that. When you go after Bigfoot with bad intentions, he don't show up. He's not going to show up because he can hear you coming. He can hear you coming. He knows what's in your head. He reads your vibes. Ghosts, spirits, they do that too. They do that very well, very, very well. So they're not entertainment purposes. They're there. I've sensed several of them. Okay. Now because they're people. They're just people. They might be angry people, confused people, but they're people. You want to see angry and confused people? Go to a bus stop. Go to a subway station or train station. Oh, go to the airport. Angry and confused all over the place. And then someone want to be left alone. And some of them want you to bring something for them. I get that. Toys, candy, tobacco, money, cigarettes, something like that. And also when you're doing things like a cemetery or a church, be respectful, but beware churches. Okay. Church people are mean. They want you to be their people or get out. For real, I've got this one. Be my people or get out. Even the living do that. There's a church not too far from here, literally right down the road, about 3 miles. They don't want people in there, but they have clear activity. I had a report. They were moving some stuff in, just light little boxes, but they were having to carry like 2 or 3 little boxes at a time. And the person said they heard just like that. Nobody around. Okay. I asked can I go there? Can you let me in? Can we go there for half a day? Just me, you, and a camera and my voice recorder. No, they don't want that. They don't want word getting out. Word getting out. I did an investigation. It was full-on interviews. I didn't record any of it because it was my first one, and it would have been a bad right? It wouldn't have been very good. It's better as a story. But I used to work at Dollar General. I'll go over this. I used to work at Dollar General, and I went to a store that I had heard stories of screaming being heard at night. Okay. What I did was I set my voice recorder up on a high shelf where nobody could see it and hit it to record and just let it run. It ran for 10 hours. I got stuff, but it was so small. It wasn't the big thing you want to make a movie out of or even a TV show, right? It barely made the Quantum Show. Okay. But what it was word got out. Everybody in the company, it's a local company, Dollar General is out of Tennessee. Everybody in the company heard about the ghost hunter on Charlotte. That was me. I went over talking to them and I was like, hey, I heard about this happening. And I was talking to all the employees. I wore my name tag. So they knew I was there from another store. But see, when they do that, they usually call ahead and say, hey, I need you to send somebody over to help us do this or that. I just showed up and I was talking to them, and they not all of them had experiences. Now, my home store, I had a couple of little experiences. Again, not scary, if you look at it the right way, and not something you make a TV show out of. We were closing the store, me and my manager. We were closing the store one night. It was about 9 o'clock. That's an early close, right? 9 o'clock is early. That's typical. And I was at the front, and my manager was in the office. So they're all put together about the same. They got this little office. It's like a box built into the building, just off to the side. It doesn't have anything over top of it. It doesn't have anything behind it. It's just a box built into the corner of the store. She's in there. I'm getting ready. I'm sweeping, and I see someone walk from. I'm looking down the aisle. I see someone on the other side of the store. It wasn't super clear, but you see some movement. It was in my peripheral vision. And I was like, if you're at the end of the store, I was like sweeping, I see something, and I don't want to, knock a bucket over or nothing. But I'm doing the thing, and I see it, and I look up, and I see a black figure. Now, it didn't seem black because the lights were on. It just was darker than white paper, right? So just a dark figure. Walk from across the aisle, across the back wall. And I go, hey, everybody's out, right? And the manager said, yeah, everybody's out. The door's locked. Everybody's out. I'm like, okay. And I start walking, and there's nobody there. That was it. That was the end of the thing. That was the end of the whole episode right there. Okay. Yeah, that would not have made Ghost Adventures. Zach Bagans would have been very disappointed and mad at me. So that was it. It wasn't scary. I wasn't scary. I refused to get scared. I did get the little incompatibility feeling on the back of my neck, like there was something here, but maybe they needed paper plates or ramen noodles. Who knows, right? So, oh, what's up, Dot? Oh, back from the hospital. Need to concentrate on deep breathing and flu. Oh, wow. Vitamin C and zinc. Get better, Dorothy. Oh man, yeah. I've heard the super flu of 2026 is pretty rough. Definitely get better. Zinc, vitamin C, water. And of course, garlic, because it's awesome. Okay. One other little incident. And the next little incident was I had been stalking all day. Okay. And it was getting to be almost time to close the store. And I was in against the back wall. And there is makeup and all the fingernail stuff and all this, to include little packages of scissors and tweezers and etc. Right? So I had packed them all up. Well, I had stocked them up. And okay, this will represent the little pack of cuticle scissors, the little tiny little scissors that we've all had. What happened was I had stocked them up and it went off the wall. Okay. And my pen is gone forever. For real. What did I do? Why did I do that? I know better. It's a Sharpie. They go. There it is. Okay. Found it. It'll be there. Okay. Don't do it. It's a Sharpie. It might as well be a 10 millimeter. It's going to be gone forever. Anywho. Okay. It flew away from the wall like that. And I just saw it. I was about 6 feet away, and that's right over there. So I saw it fly from the wall to the floor, and I went and I picked it up, and I was like, how did this happen? I looked at it. I tried to recreate it. I could not recreate it. Okay. It always, if I pushed it off the thing, it just went straight down. It didn't spring off. It didn't throw itself off the wall. Again, a horrible Ghost Adventures episode. So that's a little thing. Now, one that was much more dramatic. Okay. My other manager and I were stocking, and we had tried this thing overnight stocking, and it was going very well. Right? This was so funny. Now, she's a big, strong woman, right? She's my height, but she's strong. Okay. She came in stocking, and she's stocky, or at least she was, whatever. But she's not a skinny little thing, right? She's got muscle. She can lift that trash bag, no problem. So we were at the end of this. I don't think this was paranormal. She did. We had talked about this before, and we had turned the radio off. It was very quiet. All you could hear was the fan blowing in the air conditioner. At the time, I believe it was a heater. It's not important. And she went to the bathroom, and we had some trash cans stacked up over there. It's like a storage area, right? Well, they were kind of not perfectly stacked, and she was walking out of the bathroom. I had just stopped doing something, so my hands were free. And she walks up to me, "Hey, Nate, da 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 da." And right as she got about from where I am to the camera, the trash can decided to fall over. It's loud. It's big. It's loud. And it makes a lot of noise. And she literally grabs me by the shoulders like this and does this and puts me in front of her and spins me around like, nope, nope, nope. She said, nope, nope, nope. She spins me around and nope, nope, nope. And meanwhile, the trash cans are rolling around, clattering all over, and she's scared and she's about to pee her pants. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I see the door had touched the trash cans and it made them just unstable enough for them to fall. I don't think it's paranormal, but it was very funny. She was scared. I refuse to be scared of animated trash cans. I have animated plenty of trash cans. I'm an R2D2 droid maker. I've animated literally animated trash cans before. My big droid made out of a trash can. So but that was funny. She wanted to be scared. I refuse to be scared, but it was funny. Yeah, she grabbed me by the shoulder, spun me around, and used me as a human shield against a ghost trash can. I never thought I would say words like these, okay? But here we are. If you're here, you're quantum. We're 47 minutes. I need to remind everyone, if you're here, you're quantum, like and subscribe. Agents, AI, aliens, all you're quantum, like and subscribe. Thank you for being here. But yeah, that happened. And that was after I had established myself as a resident ghost hunter. Their words, not mine. Okay. Okay. What did I mention? There was a point in there. Peripheral vision, right? Here's how I've had it explained to me. We use a lot of filters. Okay. We use a lot of filters so our brains can make sense of our surroundings, right? And if something doesn't make sense to us, it turns it into something that makes sense. So I saw a figure out of my peripheral, and it was a full body apparition, for lack of a better term. It was someone wearing a jacket, maybe with a hood, couldn't tell. But it looked like someone walking like this. And it could have been a hood or it could have been long hair, untied long hair, walking like this across the aisle. Caught it in my peripheral. Here's what happens with your peripheral. We don't directly process that because it's not what we're working with. So it's not important to us rather than what's right in front of us, right? We're focused on something. Now, when we're focused on something, we tend to tune everything out so we can focus on this. And that ties into a UFO theory. I'll get to it. So what we see over on our peripheral is not so important. So it doesn't get the due diligence. We're filtering this way. Over here, it goes a lot of times unfiltered, uncensored, whatever, to where our minds see it. And if we choose to it's kind of like a survival thing, one of those being the prey type things. You can see something, and if there's something there, you bring it into your center vision, and your mind focuses in on that, whether there's something there or not. So a lot of people tend to make stuff up, but they're not doing it on purpose. It's that prey survival method that our brains do. Whoa, whoa, something's there. Whoa, something's there. There's a lot of evolutionary things that go into this stuff with ghosts. Peripheral vision. Okay. We see things there, and you can constantly see things there if you don't look directly at it, because this is not what we're supposed to process. What you see here, what we see on the sides, we're looking this way. We're trying to we're ignoring this so we can focus on this, right? That's the way. We're literally hardwired for that. We are hardwired for that. But when something over there and you zip around and it's out of our regular spectrum, we don't see it. It tunes it out because we're not supposed to see that. And our brains say, there's something there that doesn't make sense, delete, right? It's not there anymore. It happens with people who are slightly colorblind. Go look at a color, tell them it's purple, it's purple. Go look at something that's red, tell them it's green, it's green. It's one of those things. Your mind fills in the blank from something that doesn't make sense to something that does make sense. And that's part of spirit communication. They're in the part that doesn't make sense. So they're there. You can see stuff out of the corner of your eye, so to speak, all the time. You just got to be perceptive. Don't look directly at it. Talk to it. Don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared of. Because if it was going to hurt you, you'd be hurt already. You don't have to worry about it. You are on a much higher energy level than they are. Because we are physical. We're physical. They're not physical. How many times has a puff of air knocked the heck out of you? I'm talking just a puff of air. I can't even blow over my camera. See that? You see that standing up like that? Let me do something else. So, that flashlight weighs a few ounces, right? Here comes a puff of air. Nothing happened. The little strap, which weighs even less, blew around a little bit. That's about how much power they got at their toughest. Don't be scared. Okay? And yeah, be good at cemeteries, right? Why did I put that? Why did she put that in there? And this is all about cemetery stuff. All right. Well, hey, that's an hour. That's almost an hour. We're at 53 minutes and some change. That was pretty good. I think I covered spirit communication pretty darn good. Like and subscribe. Hit like. Give me a 1 in the chat if you liked my presentation. Did I do a good job? Could I have done better? Give me a 1 for I did good. You enjoyed the show, or a 2 for do it better next time, next year. Give me a 1 or give me a 2. Thanks. Oh, and Eternity Eternal, welcome back. I didn't see you there. Thank you. Thank you for the 1. Everybody's giving me 1s. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I had a good time delivering it. I think I minimized the ums, ands, you knows, likes. I think I minimized that. I did have a few Captain Kirk pauses in there. I just saw something in my peripheral. Did I miss something? I did see something in my peripheral. Okay. I don't want to talk about the cemetery because that will make me go all visceral. Thanks, co-pilot. And yeah, I covered everything. Don't worry about it. I'm getting good feedback over here. Okay, just let me do this. Thank you, Renee. Okay, but that is it. Thanks. I'm sorry I wasn't able to look at the chat because I want to be able to focus on the presentation. I hope you understand. And I'm still very happy about this new mug from Good Morning UFO. That's a fun mug. That is a fun one right there. Everybody go, and they're cheaper than the other ones were. I got the green. I got the green interior and handle. Multicolors available because aliens can be green. And Kermit. I need a Kermit alien thing. Thank you. Samantha, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you. Thank you for the one. I'm glad you enjoyed my presentation. I was hoping to change things up a little bit. And Copilot gave me 2 shows. It does not know how to make anything about spiritual anything. It does not know how. It just does not know how. It's very out of its element. All it has to go by is what I tell it, because anything they can look up on the internet, there's no factual research that it can rely on. You know, it looks at published papers, government things from universities, and there ain't nothing on spirituality except for things like Project Stargate, and that's not really a spiritual thing, and Vatican things. But then it goes into religion and church stuff again, religion and mythology and things from Native Americans. That's not a verifiable document for them, so it doesn't count. White papers, reports from universities and the government and things like that, those things are what Copilot looks at. It is totally out of its element when it is dealing with the spiritual. All it has to go by is what I tell it, or if you use Copilot, what you tell it. And yeah, what is this? Oh, Keith is going on about aliens, alien medical tech. Okay, they got it. I ain't gonna. That's Keith's show. I'm not gonna step on it. I'm gonna go pop in over there before the panel. And Dorothy, yes, please get better. Get better. Dorothy is home from the hospital shortly a little while ago before the show and has the flu. Vitamin C, zinc, and garlic because it's awesome. And deep breathing for sure. And did they give you a vaporizer thing? Like a thing that you can breathe steam? Hopefully they did. If not, big bowl of hot water and a towel. It helps. Alrighty then. So let me see here. Can I look at it? I like it. Get you one. Shout out. Good Morning UFO. Link in description. So I'm looking at. See, there I go. There I go with my little bad words. Time burning words. Thank you for the ones, everybody. I appreciate that. You could give me it too. If I didn't do so well, you could let me know. I will take it into account. And okay, well, thank you. I love telling them. I can't tell too many about the cemetery because I get visceral. The robot said so. I can't do that. It freaks me out. But I know, I mean, I get it stops me from doing a decent presentation. Okay, everybody, thanks for coming tonight. This is the Quantum Show. I have covered spirit communication. In the panel, I hope to cover more because what we didn't go over are EVPs, spirit boxes, the Estes Method, mainly things that need a device, right? All the different kinds of ghost boxes. So if you're here, you're quantum, like, subscribe. Of all the funny cat videos, you ended up here. Of all the internet, you are here. Please like and subscribe. If you're here, you're quantum. Thank you again for the copies, Rachel. That's awesome. You're helping the show. I'm almost there to new headphones. And I want to get some more alien logos because once you put them on, they're kind of done forever. I want to get some more of these too. And I think I want to get a little plastic ghost because I got robots and everything, but I want to get like a little ghost back here. Nothing super scary, but like from Mario or something, little cartoon ghost over there. But that's it. Yeah, that's it for this one. I barely made it through this cup of coffee. It is cold, so time for more. And shout out to my sister for giving me this t-shirt. Grumpy Old Vet. I do what I want. I guess I'm in there now. I guess I am. I don't know why it's the infantry logo over here. I was never infantry. I can't really tell what it says. Can y'all? Let me see if I can read it on the screen. Yeah. Grunt style. This will defend. Okay, yeah, grunt style. This GS grunt style. This will defend. And the crossed rifles, cross muskets, just an awesome thing all the time. Yeah. Yeah, grunt style. See you on the panel. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and start pushing buttons. This has been a good one. This has been a very good one. I'm really happy with it. Thanks, everyone. I need to see, where is my little thing? Pushing buttons. Pushing buttons. Oh, back to the laggy times where I had to wait for the buttons to push. Pushing buttons.